My name is Doug Pitcanix. I am founder of Livepeer. I'm going to be talking about Filecoin for video. Video is a subject that's really near and dear to our hearts at Livepeer. Our mission is to build the world's open video infrastructure. And we've been live for a little over 2.5 years now, focused largely on live streaming infrastructure, and really excited about the launch of Filecoin because I'm going to talk about this kind of emerging Web3 stack for video today. And what Filecoin enables is actually this persistence layer that enables not just live streaming, but actually video on demand applications and all of this excess video that's captured to actually be stored for analysis, AI type tasks, and all sorts of creative use cases that people want to see exist. So I think it's a powerful moment. I'm actually going to start this talk with a demo of a project that launched this morning called file.video. And file.video, in a pretty straightforward way, is basically a simple app that aims to just provide decentralized video hosting for everyone. The functionality is pretty straightforward. There's one thing you can do. You can upload a video file, and then after it uploads and after it processes, there's a link that's shareable for playback and viewable for anyone who wants to view it. So I just selected a video. I'm uploading it right now. It's uploading in the background. What's going on here is that this video is being uploaded to a Livepeer node. It's being streamed into the Livepeer network for a process called transcoding. The video that's being uploaded is an HD video in high quality. And what transcoding does is it converts that video into many different bit rates. So it can be played back on any connection speed, and different formats such as HLS, which are compatible across players for streaming, so that the video can be played on all different device types as well. So this is what occurs when you upload videos to many online video services, YouTube, etc. And it's a really important step to enable kind of wide accessibility. So as the video finishes uploading and transcoding, what'll pop up is essentially a playback URL. That URL is going to be shareable. And that's happening in the background. I kind of have the playback URL here already. But as you see, basically the video is streaming. There's a shareable URL here. And you actually have the ability to toggle between HD versions, low resolution versions. And as I said, video players will automatically do this for you to make sure you're getting the best possible video experience at the connection speed that you have. So this is available at file.video, and you can go and check it out today. I think on the gateway that's hosted, there's a 30 megabyte upload limit as it stands now. But what's actually really cool about this is that this is built on Livepeer and Filecoin. After the video is transcoded by Livepeer, it's being written into the Filecoin network, and the persistent storage is guaranteed. And then as users requested, it's served back over IPFS. So this is built entirely on Web3 infrastructure. And if you look kind of at the bottom right of this application, you'll see there's a link to the GitHub repo. All the code for this is open source. And I'm excited that this is basically a blueprint or a template that any developer can use to get started leveraging Web3 infrastructure like Livepeer and Filecoin to create live streaming or on-demand video experiences. So, very excited the file.video is live. Check it out, check out the code, and give it a try. So jumping back into my presentation here, I think another cool thing about file.video is this was actually not built by Livepeer. It was not built by Filecoin. It was built by members of our mutual communities. Biddle Labs builds a bunch on Livepeer. They built a bunch on Filecoin, and they built this file.video app along with Basement Studios, which is an incredible design and front-end development group of developers who put a great design and front end on top of this. And what's really great about seeing kind of the community build something like this is, as I mentioned, for 2 years that Livepeer has been live, it's been focused exclusively on live streaming, which is about growing to 17% of all the bandwidth on the internet. But as Colin mentioned, video on demand and video traffic in general is currently over 60% of traffic on the internet. It's growing to over 80% in the next couple of years. And now with Biddle Labs and Basement Studios coming together to do this, there's actually this newly emergent Web3 stack that enables not just live streaming, but video on demand applications. So I think that's really powerful, and I'm excited to see what sort of things are going to be built as a result. So excited about file.video and the Web3 video stack, but the important question is, why does this matter? Why do we need a Web3 video stack? I think I've emphasized how much of the internet's traffic is video, and a lot of that video, as Colin alluded to, is very temporal. It's streamed, consumed, but not necessarily stored. There's so much content, it's eliminated. And as connected devices with cameras such as self-driving cars and smart scooters and video cameras capturing data on every cell phone and laptop come online, you're just going to see this proliferation of video that needs to be recorded, analyzed, streamed to viewers for entertainment purposes or security purposes, and the infrastructure really can't keep up, and it's very, very expensive and hard to scale. So why does this matter? I think there's really two ways of looking at this. I think there's the kind of forward-looking societal benefits that an open, decentralized video stack can bring. I think and then on the other hand, there's kind of the economic benefits that can enable, Web 2 applications and entrepreneurs and developers and product visionaries to create great video experiences today at a much more cost-effective manner. I think these are both super important, and I'll touch on them for a bit. So on the societal benefits, because video is so complex technically to pull off over the internet, and it's so hard to scale, what you see is a few kind of proprietary closed platforms monopolizing the video infrastructure and charging very high prices to build your own video experiences. You see costs like $3 to $6 per hour per stream of video if you want to use a third-party service to create a video streaming app. That's really difficult if you're a startup that wants to have an app with hundreds or thousands of streams. Your infrastructure bill is going to be millions of dollars before you even validate your business model. So it's challenging from an economic perspective, but as a result, you see the kind of FANG platforms that are free to use but have this kind of attention economy, ad-supported monetization models that let users and creators stream for free, but then they control the content, the viewership, the experience, and you see all sorts of the kind of challenging results that our society are facing as a result of that model. You see, issues around polarization. You see issues around the AI applied to the data for recommendation algorithms that are causing polarization and fake news phenomenon and the resulting effects. And a lot of this is the result of us using these platforms for free to create content, and having this kind of misaligned economic relationship between the content creators, the viewers, and the platforms themselves. So what's really cool about this open Web3 stack that enables people to build things in a cost-effective manner due to the competitive marketplaces that Filecoin provides for storage or Livepeer provides for video-centric compute, now all of a sudden startups can actually create platforms that have more balanced and mutual incentives between the content creators, the consumers, and the platforms themselves. I think Ethereum is a really powerful tool here that lets you embed economics into these protocols and applications, and really excited about what can be created kind of looking forward for society that maybe frees us from some of these negative effects we're feeling in the attention economy FANG platforms today when it comes to video. The other benefit, is related to what I just spoke about, that is economic, because you have these open marketplaces for compute, bandwidth, and storage powered by Web3 protocols running on kind of idle capacity, all the idle storage that's being put to use on the file network, or all the idle video encoding technology on GPUs that's being put to use on the Filecoin network that's already deployed and paid off and just looking for additional income. You actually see order of magnitude cost reductions. Things cost decrease between 10 and 100x to build on these open networks directly. And again, that makes things viable for developers that might not have been viable if you have to foot a huge infrastructure bill before you start to test with users. So, all of a sudden it becomes possible to create, applications that have many streams that maybe let users stream for free and have different economic relationships that aren't ad supported. So I think there's economic and societal benefits here that I'm super excited about. Cool. So what can you do with this technology? What can you build that might be interesting? I think there's a few use cases that I think are really great fits for Web3 that I'm excited about. I think anything that has to do with user-generated content, if you want to create a video application that lets hundreds or thousands of users press that start streaming button and stream for free, things that look like Twitch, for example, I think Web3 infrastructure is a great fit for that, because there's no way you can let hundreds or thousands of users stream for free if you have to pay $3 to $6 per hour for the infrastructure to run their stream. But when those costs come down and you've embedded better economic relationships between the people consuming the content, the people creating it, the platforms themselves, all of a sudden those sorts of use cases with many videos where they all might not be super popular million viewer streams become possible. And that opens up a whole new world of content, a whole new world of kind of freedom of expression and all sorts of creative use cases that just all get pushed into FANG platforms right now. I think there's opportunities to address these tricky issues around content moderation and censorship that are leading to YouTube and Facebook deplatforming people or only serving polarized news to certain groups. I think things like fact-based live journalism has a great home on Web3. I do think the content moderation challenges and how you prevent malicious or hurtful content is still a really hard problem to solve. But I think, again, if you start with a better open platform and base economic model, I think that there's a chance for kind of fact-based live journalism to succeed on Web3. I think anything where you need auto scaling is great for Livepeer and Filecoin, because if you're doing this on centralized infrastructure, you have to deploy servers to handle your peak traffic, no matter what it might be. And a lot of times you're not at peak, you're kind of below peak, and sometimes you hit peak and then you come down. If you go beyond your capacity, you can't serve anyone. Whereas with the millions of unused GPUs out there that are addressable to Livepeer and the tons and tons of petabytes of storage available on Filecoin, you can essentially, the promise is you can assume infinite capacity, and whether you're running one stream of video or thousands of streams of video, there should be resources available that's competing to do that work in the most cost-effective way possible, which is a super powerful promise of Web3. And finally, I've beat this one to death so far, but I just think ownership economy apps that create great aligned incentives between content creators and viewers and platforms are really powerful. And now that these elements of Web3 are in place, we're going to start to see incredible experimentation. We're going to see developers do great things. So I'm really excited about the launch of Filecoin. I urge you to check out Livepeer at livepeer.org, try out file.video, check out the code, fork it, build something fun. Our community would love to help you out and test things out. You can find us at livepeer.org.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leandro. I'm from Brazil. I'm founder from Voodfy. Today, I will talk about the Voodfy and the process happening into Voodfy and the tech stuff and digging in on Web3 with Voodfy and the video stream. Yeah, so what is Voodfy? Voodfy is a powerful and private decentralized video host platform. All-in-one security stream solution with complete control of the content. Reach audience on your device using our video CMS or integrate our API via MES platform, online course, and my business. Yeah, the Voodfy is everyone to look for a tool and a product to try to get again the access to the video. think in a decentralized way. These are good picture where you can do with Voodfy. For example, play your user wideband play in a smart TV. We offer a beta, and you can access the beta.voodfy.com to try to use and test our product. Here are some examples. In the first moment, we can put your MP4 and a quick edit information about your video meta information. I am focused here because, like Doug said, handling with video and streaming the internet is difficult because we have issues in the bandwidth, traffic, storage, and others. I think the Web3 is a solution for solve all these problems. And with Voodfy, using Livepeer, Filecoin, IPFS, you can handle it in an easy way. I will explain here how the process happens on our workflow inside the upload, transcode, and storage. And the first moment after you handle it and dragging the MP4, you take this MP4 and you do FFmpeg to extract some assets like MP4A, PNG, and GPG. And I will transcode user Livepeer in our redemption starting in 240p and AD content. After this, after this process with our assets, I will send to Filecoin and IPFS. I will show the beta and can just choose or drag the video here. I will process the upload, you will start. Send it direct to IPFS and the Filecoin and the background. After the upload finished, we will transcode user Livepeer. It's an amazing network with a GPU and can handle it in a faster way. For example, 40 minutes of video you can deliver in a 80 quality in just 20 minutes. This is our interface where you can list the videos uploaded and take the link. Here. Oh, so sorry. I think it's I'm not shared our screen on the presentation. I will repeat the process again. So sorry. Yeah, in here it can just drag in the video and upload the MP4. And after this, the transcode you start with Livepeer. After the transcode, we can take the link. And for example, I'm at Twitter, do some post like I did here, and play inside the Twitter. Consume direct using our IPFS node, deliver the end streams like HLS, Dash, and Smooth Stream. The interesting thing at Voodfy that you can plug in your IPFS node directly on our core. Right now we have on IPFS running, but we can just plug in another and another IPFS node here. Our goal is bring the content and the access to the videos for everyone. I think the centralized stuff things companies like YouTube and others is a huge problem because they are saying things how the videos, how the stream needs to work. We need to back this our content, all these ideas. The control for the people, not control. The companies can't anymore say how can upload video, how can play. The Voodfy is for that, for everyone. Here some examples about our features inside the Voodfy. We have an API, and we can just plug in or do some requests. It's a example from a customer at here Brazil, and it's a web interface using our API. We have some features like Tabs preview and then others. And we have an IT tools where you can take this summary information about traffic, storage, and performance, and then other stuff. So here we are working to bring the Voodfy into the mainnet at Filecoin. And the next week, I think we will release the final version integrated in the mainnet. So that's it. It's a Voodfy, and thank you so much for the opportunity to speak here.
But listen, I just really want to thank Leandro and Doug, not only for their presentations, but for their incredible work coming into over the last few months working between Livepeer and Filecoin. I really think that decentralized video can be one of the absolutely killer use cases for the Web3 stack and help Web3 cross the chasm to mass adoption. It has an enormous market size. As we mentioned, 60% of downstream traffic on the internet is video, and that's growing. We have incredible economic and social benefits and some really early compelling use cases, from fact-based live journalism to ownership economy apps that create better incentives than ad-supported video, which have a lot of problems. And the two apps that were presented today, by Doug and Leandro, live.video and Voodfy, just make it seem so easy to use, such an incredible user experience that can appeal to anyone around the world who wants to use decentralized video on the Web3 stack. So a huge congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us, Doug and Leandro. And we can't wait for these products to evolve into really big businesses and bigger projects and examples that others can model after in the future.
Excellent. Well said. Thanks for having us, Colin.